world is full of amazing people, animals, and plants, and finding ways to keep it that way is something we can all do.
Join us on our mission to keep Mother Earth healthy and strong.
I'm Chuck.
I'm Andy. And this is Turtle Island.
Composting is something we can all do to help Mother Earth.
It's a process that turns organic waste into soil.
You're about to meet a friend of ours named Cathy, and she's really into composting.
And she has some seriously slimy friends that help her out.
You know, Andy, I know we're lost, but I never would have thought walking in a swamp would be this beautiful. Oh, what did I just step in?
Well, the show is about slimy things.
Hello, I'm Cathy Nesbitt from Cathy's Crawly Composters. Follow me. Well, the worms live in parks, in the garden, the front lawn, anywhere that there's soil, that's where the worms live. And there's actually a few different species, and the species that we have actually live in these containers. These are called red wiggler worms, and they're a special worm. They're special because they have 5 hearts each. Red wigglers grow fairly quickly to their size. They produce an egg, it's 3 weeks to hatch, 10 weeks to sexual maturity, and then every 7 to 10 days they have one of those eggs or cocoons. Up to 20 babies in each egg, 5 or 6 is the average. So it's about a 10-week cycle till they're full grown. There are no boy or girl worms. They're hermaphrodites, meaning that they have both male and female parts on the same worm. In really healthy soil, there's about 1,000 or so worms per square foot of surface. In nature, the worms aerate the soil, they reduce soil erosion, they increase water retention. They are magic creatures for the soil.
And Cathy isn't kidding when she says worms are magical for the soil.
That's right, Chuck. Worm poo is nature's finest fertilizer.
The worm castings are so rich in nutrients that the worms will re-eat their castings up to 7 times to get all the good stuff out of it.
Worms produce the only manure that doesn't have a bad odor. We all know that cows and horses produce manure that smells. The worms do not have smelly poo.
Andy, it's so easy to start a worm farm that Cathy is going to show us how we can make one right here at home.
Excellent, Chuck. I'll take notes.
A Residential Blue Box comes with a lid. And so the worms require a carbon-nitrogen mix. The carbon I use is shredded paper, could be leaves, cardboard, about 1 liter of soil, just regular garden soil, some eggshells to balance the pH or the acidity, and then enough water so it's the consistency of a wrung-out sponge. You mix all your ingredients together, and then when you're going to feed your worms, this is about what a pound of worms will eat in a week. This is what an average family produces in a week. And so every week you're going to be adding about this much into your bin, and you just bury the scraps right in the bedding, make sure that it's covered, and then rotate around your bin. After about 3 to 5 months, the worms eat all of this and they convert it to this, nature's finest fertilizer. Worms eat half their weight every day in food scraps and paper, so they're eating all the time. And they're actually not eating the banana peel, they're eating the bugs that break down the food, and then they eat the bug. It's a wonderful little system, unless you're a bug. So at this point, it's time to harvest. You separate your worms in your cast, set up your new bedding, add the worms back in, start again, and then you have this fabulous fertilizer for your plants. I think that worms make the most perfect pet. They're quiet, they work for scraps, and they produce wonderful fertilizer. Wow, look at all the worms. Worm eggs, there's an egg. Fabulous, beautiful eggs. Worms.